Alright class, in my one-on-one conversations I heard from you that connected to VM Labs is not easy, so we're gonna move away from the softwares we have there. I just tried Libre base database and it works fine, so go ahead and install that. I will have the link up for you on ReggieNet, and then you're gonna come here, you're gonna click on base database, so you're gonna create a new database, and then I'm gonna go here, open database for editing, and I don't need to register them for now. This is only an exercise. So you're gonna create one, name it lab5 underscore your first name last initial, and make sure you save it in a safe place. And then you get here, we're gonna create tables in design view. Design view is gonna give us a chance to identify the structure of our tables. We don't need to put data in yet, as we talked about in the schema lecture. So you're going to create a table. This is going to be a colonist table, and then I'm going to start with the primary key. Remember, if you see a primary key in your domain model class diagram, use that attribute. If you don't see one, invent one, and they should be numbers. We like to work with numbers as primary keys. People do a combination of numbers and characters, but then it's going to be a lot of work in your coding, and we're just going to keep it simple right now. So this is a number, and I'm going to say this is an integer, and then I will have a colonist name. Keep in mind that these are going to be coming from your domain model class diagram, and wait for me to give you back your assignment 1 before you start working on this lab, and I'll try to do that tonight. So colonist date of birth, and this is going to be a date. I will save this, and I'm gonna name this a colonist table, and I haven't specified. No, I'm gonna right click here, and this is my primary key. This is how you specify primary keys here, and then when I save, it's gonna work fine. Remember, each table requires a primary key. If you don't specify that, the system will help you to create one using automatic features that the system has. So I will do another table. This is gonna be a physician table. I'm gonna have a physician ID, and I'm gonna choose this decimal number, and then I'm gonna have specialty character, and then I'm gonna have date started work on Mars. So we'll have this as date, and right click here. This is my primary key. Alright, so I have two tables right now. One is physician, one is colonist. Now what is happening here? I'm gonna say there is a one-to-many association from a colonist to physician, and I'm gonna label that physician and that association as a primary key provider association. So a colonist has one and only one primary key provider, but a physician can have obviously many patients as their pool of those who need primary key by that physician. So this is a one-to-many association. For you, those association and their numbers should come from your assignment 1, so you're not inventing anything right now. I'm making up this example. So because this is a one-to-many from physician to colonist, what happens is that you have to add a foreign key to colonist. How do you add that? You're gonna right click and edit your table. You're gonna go here and add a field. It doesn't matter what name you give it, primary care provider, but this is a foreign key, so it's coming from another table. The data type should be exactly what you have specified in the other table, otherwise it will not for you in the DBMS. So this was decimal as far as I remember, so I'm going to say this is decimal. We're going to save it, we're going to close it. What we're going to do, go to table, relationships, add colonist, add physician. And then here, what happens? How does the system know that this field is actually a foreign key? Here, how it knows. You're going to connect them. This is how we do. So a one-to-many association from physician to colonist. You added a new attribute, and the link that you have specified here will let DBMS know that this one is actually the same one here. So this is how the system knows it. And then when you do it on paper, on the exam, you just say this is a foreign key, but the system needs to know it somehow. This is how you say that these two are related. So we're going to close. I'm going to go back to David's example. He has appointment. Appointment is for another association between physician and the colonist. And that's a physician is seen, a physician provides care to colonists. So this is different from the primary key provider. Here the relationship is many to many. That means a colonist can be seen by many physicians. A physician can see many colonists. So I told you in the lecture that when you have a many-to-many association, you need to add a third table. Now, David and some of you have already identified those attributes that we're going to add to that third table in what we call association classes. But even if you didn't do it for your many-to-many associations, even if you didn't have association classes, you have to add a third table here. We're going to add it, and we're going to say this is appointment, and the primary key for this table could be a new attribute. I just invented that, and I'm going to name it appointment number. But we need to connect this to the other two tables. So this is an appointment. It has a number. The number is the primary key, and there is a foreign key. That's the patient who was in this appointment. I'm going to call it patient's ID. It has to be the same data type in your patient table, which I believe was integer for me. And the physician ID, the names could be different, but the data types should be the same, decimal. And I'm going to say date of visit. That's a date. And this is the reason for visit. It could be a character. So I'm going to save this, call it an appointment. And I do not capitalize here. So here this is saved. Keep in mind that some people, when they create that third table, they use the combination of the two foreign keys as their primary keys. But there is an assumption there that the combination is unique, meaning that a patient and a physician, they only visit once. That assumption is not true here. That's why I didn't use that combination as my primary key. They call it a composite primary key. I just invented a primary key, and that's my appointment number. So let's go to the relationship area, tools, relationships, and see what happens there. I'm gonna add add table here, a little new for me. So appointments, And then here how you're going to say to your DBMS that these fields are related. These are foreign keys. So a patient ID is actually calling from your colonist. That was your colonist ID. We call it patient ID here. And physician ID, the same name. They don't have to be the same name, but they are here. So here, look at this. We had a one-to-many association between colonist and physician. That's the primary care provider association. And there was a many-to-many association that we have converted to two one-to-many associations. You cannot show many-to-many association in a relational database. The way to do it is create the third table and connect it to the other two tables, and then make those connections through foreign keys. So this table has two foreign keys. This is all I wanted to say. Try it, and if you have questions, email me. Make sure that what you're doing in Lab 5 is to convert your domain model class diagram you gave me in assignment 1 to a database schema. So wait for me to give you those back with my comments and then convert them to a database schema. This is a practice I want you to learn. If there is any problem, talk to me. Thank you.